Welcome everyone to Ring the Bell. This is DS.
And Paloma Stars.
And I am the interdimensional She-Ro Moxie Molly.
And as you can see from Moxie Molly's emergency jacket, this is an emergency filming of Ring the Bell news and rumor. Shit went down today.
We had to do this. We had to jump on and talk about it and let everybody know. And
I really wish everyone could see the way our entire Ring the Bell group texts were working today. Ooh.
My favorite was Joey waking up at like 3 p.m. He was like, what's happening?
There was so much judgment and shade behind it.
That was not shade. I want to preface this video by saying that things are still going on right now. News are trickling in, and they're saying that we are going to get more release announcements from NXT. The SmackDown roster hasn't got the news yet, but basically, we got tons of performers in WWE and producers, employees that lost their jobs or furloughed on WWE today. So let's discuss what happened today. Vince McMahon called for a WWE employee conference call, emergency conference call today. PW Insider reported that Vince McMahon informed employees that there will be major cuts across the board, both financially and headcount. And Wrestling Inc. reported that 40% of the employee will either permanently lose their jobs or be furloughed. So that is huge change that's going to come to the company.
Right before this was announced, we found out that Vince McMahon is joining Trump's cabinet to reopen our economy. Add that bullet to the storyline.
So let's talk about that a little bit, because this definitely came at a very weird time where WWE was being mentioned on mainstream media because of the announcement that WWE was deemed essential. Yeah, exactly. That's the whole controversy. They got reviewed by the Florida government and said they are essential business, so they resumed their live tapings of the weekly shows. On the same day, the note that came out was that Linda McMahon's Super PAC, which is a political action committee, America First Action, pledged to spend $18.5 million on broadcast advertising for 2020 presidential election cycle for Trump. Basically, Linda McMahon is spending $18.5 million in the Florida region to advertise for Trump's campaign, and they are saying that there is no causation, but I mean,
come on, connect the dots. It's super easy to connect the dots. So
the best word to describe this is bribery, and that's the end of my sentence.
Very kind of fishy situation going into today. The official statement from WWE is this: they did a financial analysis. They decided to implement some sort of short-term cost-cutting methods, which is reducing executive and board member compensations, which they cut tons of executive people lately, so that happened already. Decreasing operating expenses, and lastly, cutting talent expenses, which was definitely what we saw throughout today. We saw more than 20 performers who got released, 10 plus producers got cut, and we got tons and tons of employees who got either furloughed or they were fired that we don't currently know about.
I was just going to say, a lot of the names on that list as it was released and as it continues to be released are literally shocking.
Yeah.
There are people that have been there doing things for years that are integral parts of WWE, and it's shocking.
The moment where like Kurt Angle's name was released and like names like Fit Finlay, Glenn Storm, the people who've been like the pillars of the company, I think people start seeing that this is going to be a huge change for the company. As a women's wrestling channel, let's focus on women that got on the cutting board today, unfortunately. Starting with Sarah Logan, who as of this week wrestled against Shayna Baszler.
I mean, my heart, you guys saw it in the text chat, my heart broke for her. I know she hasn't been an integral part in Raw, aside from kind of always getting like kind of smashed, but like she does the job. She does what she's supposed to be doing. She, I feel in many ways, is that statement that you don't have to be, you know, gender roles traditionally what a girl is. Like, she's out there shooting a bow and arrow, shooting guns, you know, wearing camo. I think it's a big loss, not just on screen, but you know, what women wrestlers can stand for.
I actually don't think she was able to really show everybody what she could really do, because I think I think the best showcase of her talent was in the indies, and especially honestly with that character, with Crazy Mary character that she did have. But the gimmick that she is doing now, I think, is a little bit more closer to what she really is. But I don't think she really had the opportunity to showcase what she could really do, because she could go. She does like awesome cool moves and like stuff that you don't normally see people doing. So I don't think she actually had like the chance to blossom to what she could really be.
Because a lot of people don't know that Sarah Logan has been wrestling in the indie scenes for a long time before joining WWE. I mean, did you guys have a chance to wrestle Sarah?
I was in a couple multi-person matches with her, a couple times in Resistance Pro. So I never wrestled her one-on-one, but there was a few matches where I was in multi-person matches with her.
Okay. Sarah Logan joined WWE back in 2016. She had a short NXT run, and then she debuted on SmackDown as a Riot Squad. You know, the whole Riot Squad, the biggest riot they really did, it was like putting ketchup on people's locker room. They really never had a chance to show who they are, and especially Sarah Logan. She's like an actual real-life Viking. She's like a Viking!
Yeah, she is.
She's a hunter.
She totally is. And I wasn't going to say this story, but I texted it to you guys. Like, it was so heartbreaking because, like, literally the week after she debuted on the main roster, I was an extra, and she was, like, telling us how excited she was and how, like, she was going to work there for 8 to 10 years and then just, like, save up money and then travel the world trying to inspire other girls to become, like, women's wrestlers. Like, I know we're in the women's revolution and we have, like, a lot of, you know, people we can look up to now, but I think that's something that with cuts like these is gonna go on the back burner, and it'd be nice to have an influence like that.
So she made an Instagram post today saying that with my whole heart, thank you. So that was her message towards this really sad news. Another one who got the cut today is Maria Kanellis. She was originally signed from 2004 to 2010. She came in with the Diva Search, and after returning back to WWE in 2017 with her husband Mike, she became the only pregnant champion of WWE, winning the 24/7 championship. She was also in Royal Rumble, she was in Evolution Battle Royale, and she recently gave birth to her second child just 2 months ago.
Quite crazy that she was also in the list too.
It's crazy, yes, but I can't say, this is going to sound so mean-spirited, but I can't say that it comes as a surprise.
No, I agree.
She's very vocal about the way she feels about things, which is fine. I think everyone should be, and I don't think that they should ever get reprimanded for being vocal for what they believe in. That being said, I think history goes to show us when you do that with WWE, you get future endeavored.
I'm actually glad that she even came back because she's actually one of those that I thought like she was like, oh, did the Divas thing and then that's it. But she busted her ass as a manager in New Japan. So that was like really cool. I was like, oh, wow, look at you, Maria. So I thought it was really cool to see her back in WWE this time around with Mike Kanellis. And I really like the whole like weird gimmick that they started at the beginning when they would come out with the microphones and be like super lovey-dovey with each other. I thought it was a perfect heel gimmick. But I know they were both very vocal, like you mentioned, Moxie, about like almost like disgruntled employees. I feel like she bounced back before when she got released before, and now she has 2 kids, so I'm sure she'll bounce back and be better whether it's in wrestling or not.
I guess their departure was more of expected, given that Mike did ask for his release on social media before. It was somewhat expected that their release was coming on, especially when they're cutting talent. But it is, again, very disappointing because Maria showed a completely different side of her character after she came back from her
first run.
And even though it did not go anywhere, I thought her whole pregnancy, kicking Mike's balls every time, that whole character was so interesting. I was loving it.
And she played it so well. Like, I was like, oh shit, what if they're really like that at home? You know, it's like, damn, she worked me. She definitely worked me for it, for sure. And I think the actual pure wrestling manager role is kind of like non-existing now. So it's kind of cool to see somebody actually just be a manager. I know she had a few matches here and there, but it was kind of cool to see somebody come back and just as a straight up manager.
So Maria posted a video where she thanked the fans for the support.
I wanted to thank WWE and thank the WWE universe for giving me that opportunity. Life never goes as planned, and that's okay. I can't wait till this is all over so that we can entertain whoever it is we end up entertaining in the future.
She said she got to compete in Evolution, Royal Rumble. She also had a WrestleMania moment. She's thankful for the opportunity to be in WWE, not just once, but twice. Let's move to NXT. So NXT's official list of people that are released is not confirmed yet by WWE, but here are 2 people that confirmed their departure. It is Deonna Purrazzo, the Virtuosa.
I think it's definitely a bummer. She was one of those, I feel, women who are really, really technically sound And I don't feel like a lot of women nowadays have that technical background. I mean, she was trained by Rip Rogers, so it's like really like, oh, no wonder she's so technical. But also, I don't think she really got that big of a chance. I mean, she did great at the Mae Young Classic, but I think that was one of those that she was still developing her character, developing her look, developing her gimmick. I mean, it kind of sucks because right now we would be saying like, oh, she'll be great in the indies, she'll do great, but there's no indies right now.
Yeah.
And there's no really foreseeable future when they will return. So I think that's just kind of sucks about the timing. I mean, the timing for everybody sucks, but like people don't have those indies to fall back on anymore, unfortunately.
I mean, she showed us some cool stuff, but she hasn't gotten to show us the full extent what she can do, which Logan and I have seen firsthand. We were in a Rise seminar with her where she wasn't even the virtuoso yet, but she was like literally, I could tell that like she had big things coming in her future because she was like so excellent like in that seminar. That being said, what Paloma said, like the indies don't exist right now, like not even Comic-Cons. Like this can't even where people go and like sell their old gear or sign photos. Like nothing exists for them right now. Chelsea Green, Deonna, and actually Britt Baker are in real life really good friends. That's why I think she might be going to AEW. But I don't know if AEW isn't going to have their own round of cuts. Hard to imagine that AEW is going to be able to pick up all this talent. And I don't think they would. I don't think they would in normal circumstances either. But at least I'd say with her, she has a bright future and possibility of going there.
She signed with WWE back in 2018 after the Mae Young Classic. Her most recent match was on Raw against Nia Jax on Nia Jax's return match. And she posted on social media saying that people closest to me know this is something I've been struggling with, wanting for the better part of the last year. Happy to say I gave this journey my best and more excited for the future. Virtuosa was trying a lot of different stuff. She teamed up with Chelsea Green on the NXT live show circuits, which we unfortunately didn't see on TV. Hope to see a lot more from Virtuosa. Next one is MJ Jenkins from NXT. She signed with WWE in 2018 after competing on the second Mae Young Classic. Her last TV appearance was on NXT #1 Contendership Battle Royale in January this year.
With MJ Jenkins, I did a seminar with her. I did a Rise seminar with her, and I remember her saying that she was like a triple threat because she could wrestle, sing, dance. So I knew she was like very multi-talented. So it's kind of cool seeing her on the Mae Young Classic. Be like, oh, hey, I know her. I know she has lots of charisma and has a really pretty smile. But I don't remember seeing her on TV besides the Mae Young Classic.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, not to be mean-spirited or rude at all. She's always in groups of stuff or like the Mae Young Classic. Like, she's never had a run. So as much as it's still sad that she's being let go, it's not surprising that they would choose someone that hasn't really been on screen that much.
And that's what's really scary about NXT, because NXT has been accumulating tons of talent and names under their belt. There's like so many people in NXT that we've never even seen on TV that are there. So I am scared to see how this is going to affect all those talents in there.
I am honestly even scared to see what this does for NXT UK, because it's such a baby seedling of something over there. Yeah, it's not on national television. It's very easily something that they could just be gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So let's move to the female producers. So we have Sarah Stock, aka TNA Serena, who joined as a developmental trainer back in 2015, and Serena Deeb, who joined WWE as a developmental trainer in 2018. So those two producers have been released from their producer duties.
Again, like Serena Deeb, this is her second go, even though she's not on screen. This is her second go of having a contract with WWE, and it's almost like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Like, and again, with all the talent, where's she gonna go? It's so sad. Same thing with Sarah Stock is, I mean, I've seen her a lot. She's like Fit Finlay, an integral part of what goes on backstage with the women's wrestling on Raw and SmackDown. And when I saw her name, I was in shock. I'm hopeful that maybe one of them can go to AEW as a coach, because I don't think they have a female coach there.
So we don't know if this list is someone who's being furloughed or someone being completely released of their contract. So there's really not much information out there to say. but hopefully they can come back to WWE. Another one who's not a woman, but Fit Finlay was also released today, who is a huge name when it comes to women's
division and women's revolution.
Even before any of this, he was 100% supporter of women's wrestling before the revolution even started. So definitely big up to Fit Finlay for sure. I mean, he was an amazing in-ring competitor, just that. But for him to have the back of women before it was cool, I think it says a lot about him.
Even aside from that, like, Paloma, you've been there as an extra as well. He does a lot backstage.
Yeah.
How is the show going to go on? Like, he's everywhere. I mean, they're going to have, you know, a half or quarter of the staff, but like that just means more work for everyone.
Currently, we don't know the amount of people that's furloughed or released on the behind the scenes talent, but we do know that one of the creative team member, Andrea Listenberger, who was a female creative team member in charge of the Otis and Mandy Rose storyline that joined WWE back in December, is released of today, which is really sad. I think it makes sense that a woman wrote
Otis and Mandy Rose storyline, because we could tell it was a woman's voice.
I am really disappointed and sad because honestly, that's one of the best storylines they've had this year. And even beyond this year, like in a long time. And now we're not going to get ideas like that anymore.
A lot of men can't write or don't know how to write women or for women, like in books and movies or anything like that. And you could really tell that this was written by a woman as a woman's perspective.
I think this is a big loss for the creative
direction too. So this is really sad.
So again, more than 20 performers as of today got released. More than 10 producers got released. So this is a huge change in WWE. And what's really sad is that this is not done. Right now, it seems like mostly the people on Raw brand was officially got the release note. And we might be getting a lot more names in NXT and SmackDown. So we will be updating you on those names. But for now, please go support everyone that is affected by this. Please support indie wrestlers.
I just want to say we're all in this together. I mean, they're not the only ones who are being affected by this crazy global pandemic going on. If obviously such a huge mega company as WWE is feeling the effects of it, that means that AEW, Impact, especially the indies, are going to definitely feel the effect of it. And the only thing that I don't like is when fans go online and be like, oh, watch out AEW, or well, here they come. Like, what makes you think that AEW is not in the same position that WWE is not, you know? And like how you mentioned, Roxy, like there's no way they could pick up all these people, even if the whole pandemic thing wasn't going on. But it's just kind of like, I don't want to say disheartening, but like don't jump on the like, oh, here they come to AEW just yet, because nobody's in a position to know what's going to happen tomorrow, or, you know, who's going to get hired and stuff. But it just sucks for everybody losing their jobs. I mean, on a personal note, I don't have a job right now, and I don't even have the indies either. So it sucks that everybody's in this boat, but I guess we could all be in this struggle together.
Even if AEW isn't in the same boat somehow, like their whole product is built on being different from WWE, and what justice would they be doing if they just picked up all of WWE's talent? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, yes, who they have picked up, they've completely transformed their character, but not all of these wrestlers are that dimensional and able to do that. It's not right to immediately jump to, hey, watch out AEW. What is right and what is kind and what is helpful is to send your most positive vibes to them. Feel sorry for them, because their lives, first of all, they don't get paid as much as you think they do, first of all. Second of all, their lives are affected just as much as everyone that's watching this video right now. If you saw Drew Maverick's video, like...
So everyone, stay home.
We gotta quell this coronavirus altogether, girls. We'll be updating you as more.
I'm like, it's not even something. We don't want you to look out for it.
I feel like a lot of NXT are probably going to come tomorrow, and probably a lot of the SmackDown ones are probably going to come over the weekend, if I had to guess, unfortunately. We'll keep you up to date as best as we can, guys.
Where can we find you, Paloma?
You can find me at Paloma Star on Instagram, Twitter, and I guess now TikTok too. So hey, I'll throw that in there too.
You can find me on all social media platforms at that's THEE, Moxie Molly. And Mr. DS just added one of my merch shirts onto our Ring the Bell Teespring shirt, but there's a link down here.
Wherever. It's like here or there.
I know. I never know where to point.
And then lastly, you can find me at DS Shin and Ring the Bell DS on Twitter. All right, thank you so much. Stay safe, everyone.